Hey, me again with another tutorial tonight. I've got two different things that I'm going to show you that you can put in your glider cage. One is called a glider kitchen, and if your gliders like to throw things whenever they eat and make a big mess whenever they eat, you're going to want a kitchen. A lot of people have heard of these but aren't sure how to make them. I made a hanging one, and I'll show you right here. This is my hanging kitchen. These are just C-links that I used and hooked together. You can get any sort of a plastic chain if you want, but the thing I like about this is where I put the hole in it here, I can take this C-hook off of here real easy for cleaning purposes. I have a huge wheel in the bottom of my cage, so I don't have any room to put this. A lot of people just set the kitchen in the bottom of the cage, no problem. Like I said, I don't have any room in mine, so mine has to hang. And I used a shower hook thing, one of these plastic things. I have a ton of them. I've got the baby rings, the shower hooks, these little stars I don't use for actual toys. I use these for hanging things in the cage. And this right here is actually a plastic paper clip that I use for a toy. But these I actually found, I found these today in the garage. Ooh, yeah. So the shower hooks is a lot of times what I use in the cage to hang things with, and that's what I've been using here, because whenever it's hanging in the cage, I can hook it on the bars, snap it shut, and I know it won't come undone. With the baby hooks, they don't latch shut, so I'm afraid that something could happen, it'll come undone. But whenever you're making these, I asked on Facebook. I'm on a number of different Facebook pages for sugar gliders, and I just picked one and went to it, and I cleaned that. And they told me how to make the holes for your gliders to go in. Now some people might just do one. I put one on this side, one on the end, and one on this side. But this end, I don't have anything on. And what I did was I took a soup can, cleaned it out, took the paper off of it, and I have an electric oven stove. You could probably use it with a regular one. And I turned it upside down and sat it on the stove, and then used my oven mitt to pick it up with after it got hot. And I just shoved the hollow end first, not the flat, not the bottom, but where I took the lid off. I shoved that in right through here and just pushed until it went right through, and it made a nice, clean, perfect hole. It's big enough for the gliders to get through, and you don't have to worry about hard edges because it's already melted. Be wary of the stench because it does smell really bad whenever we do that. Oh, it was terrible. My husband was at work whenever I did this, so he didn't have to come home and smell the nasty smell. I gave it some time to air out throughout the house. So just do that, stick it back on the stove, let it heat up, and then however many holes you want. And the purpose of the kitchen, as you can see here, I did not clean this up so I could show the mess that my guys made, and that is everywhere. And that I don't have to clean up out of the cage. I clean this every night, and you can see that I just have one dish that I feed my guys with. I put their protein in there on top of their other stuff. I mix everything together. They pick and choose what they want. Basically what you use, it's just a shoebox size. I've got to use kind of a bigger one because I have 6 gliders that need to be able to get in here. And you're going to want to turn it upside down for the bottom. And like I said, you can just set it in your cage just like this in the bottom, or you can put holes through it. Make sure that you put holes through the lid and the top if you're going to hang it. That way while it's hanging there, the lid doesn't come off and food and gliders go everywhere. And just make sure that you clean it every night because it gets surprisingly stinky. The other thing I wanted to show you is the Cool Whip container. I saw this on a YouTube video. How many sugar gliders can you fit in a Cool Whip container? And I thought it was really neat. The guy had something like 8 or 12 sugar gliders in a Cool Whip container, and it was really cool. I just cleaned this out this evening and made it. It was really easy. You can do the same thing to make this hole as you did with the kitchen. I didn't want this hole nearly as big, and now looking at it in comparison, it looks about the same size. But I had my husband use a Dremel, and he went around there, and then we just used a lighter and went around the edges with a lighter, because you're going to want soft edges. If you leave it hard, it could pull their fur and scratch them. And then for your hanger, you're going to need a hole here, which that does not look pretty at all. It doesn't have to look pretty. It has to be functional, and they have to like it. I set an old knife down on the stove top and let it get heated up, and then I just kind of twisted it in there and made the hole here and on the lid. And careful that I didn't put it too close to the lip, so if for some reason it rips, hopefully that little lip right there will catch it. So one on, I'm losing my train of thought here. Whenever I put this in there, it wasn't, I was like, oh great, I can clean it and go put it in the glider cage, but this wouldn't fit. So all I did was flip the lighter on and stick it on top of it till it got big enough. And, I mean, you can see where, I mean, it doesn't look super pretty, but it's melted, so the edges aren't hard. The edges on this one don't look very pretty because I didn't wait long enough for it to cool down before I stuck my hanger through there. And actually I should probably fix it a little bit right there because it feels a little bit rough. So let's see if I can do this out just so you can see. There, I can see it melting. And that piece wants to come off, so I'm just kind of... Gosh, that stinks. I'll just kind of shake it back and forth so I don't have to get lightheaded blowing on it. I used to put fleece in these when I put it in the cage for the gliders to go in and hang out, but you can if you want. I found out that it got more stinky than anything. So make sure you got this hole and this hole lined up at least fairly close. Make sure it's dry enough, cool enough. And stick this through. Stick this through. Put the lid on. My dog is pushing my legs. And then you've got a cool little hanging container thingy for the gliders to go in. They can go in there and chill, and mine like to sleep in here. Sometimes they like sleeping in a cool container better than they like sleeping in a pouch. So there's two things you can make for your gliders. One to help with cleanliness, and the other one just like a little hut that's cheap and easy and fun to make. I have 6 gliders, so I used a big Cool Whip container. You can use one of the smaller regular size ones, and I'd say 3 or 4 can probably fit in that. I like making sure my guys have a lot of room, so they should have plenty of room in this. And I have it so whenever it's hanging, they can sleep in there. And this is kind of on the side. I probably should have angled it up a little bit and put the hole closer to up here so it's the hole's more at the top than the side, but I don't think they should fall out of that. There's enough of a lip there that they should stay in just fine. So there you have it. Hope you guys learned something, and I've only had this kitchen that I made for maybe 3 or 4 nights, and already I can tell a difference in cage cleanliness. So see you later.